I love it. Of course, it's sitting
every,
next to me right here.
Would you
There it
mind
is.
showing that just one more time? Because I
Oh,
just
one more
pushed
time.
start, and just in case anybody here happens to like Outlander as well.
There you
That's
go.
what Sam signed for
oh,
for
yeah.
Miss
Who's the guy
Jackie
on
There
the
it
left?
is.
via Melissa.
Love me some
Jackie,
Melissa. There we go.
who is the guy on the left? On the left hand side. Who
What's
is
that,
that?
huh?
The guy on the left.
That's the Comte Saint
Yeah,
Germain.
Comte.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Comte.
No, and
Yep.
the guy on the other
And
side.
here's Bonnie
Other
Prince.
side. No,
That's
I'm
way
on
on
the
the
other
other
side.
side, Jackie. Way on the other
Yeah,
side.
that guy. Yeah.
That's King the King.
Oh, was it
Oh,
Louis?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Really?
that's
Yeah.
the King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that
And then
is
that's the one
pretty
that's having the
cool.
baby of Bonnie Prince down here.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Murda. Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
and
I'm
somebody
not sure
signed
who these
that?
two are, but
No.
Somebody signed that, Jackie?
yeah,
Signed
Sam
it?
Sam
Hewen.
did.
Really? And how did you get that?
Miss Melissa was so sweet to give
Oh,
to me when she went to her to the convention her and Katie went to. I was, she made me cry when I got it. Of course, I was bawling, which she knew that was going to happen. So there you go.
oh,
Yeah.
that's lovely.
Very sweet.
Jeez. Yes.
Yeah, I know, isn't that cool? And it's a Skyboat song. The
Yeah,
actual
yeah, that's what I like
thing
in
is
the
the Skyboat song.
background,
Yeah,
the sky
in the
bird
background.
song.
That's pretty cool.
Wonderful. Hey, and
I'm
Jackie,
loving
I
it.
like your nails.
Oh yeah, I got
They're very
a indigo blue on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna be taking
haven't
it off when
used
we're done. Put a different one on. That's the
I
way I
haven't
roll.
used yours yet, but when I do, I'll take a picture.
Please do and send it to me.
I'm trying to get my nails to grow. They're not.
Yeah,
there's all
mine
different
they grow
sizes
really
right
fast, so I
now.
end up cutting them about every 3 weeks because I can't stand it. They get too long,
Oh, well,
especially when
wish
I
had
type.
that
It,
problem.
it just doesn't work typing,
Yeah. Yeah.
sliding all over the place.
Now,
Yeah.
we don't see Katie, right?
What's
You
that?
can see me. I am right
Yeah, I
here.
can see her.
I don't see her.
I'm
Oh,
right
I can
here,
see
I
her.
swear.
Melissa, can you see her?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see her.
Huh, I wonder why I can't.
I'm having a hard time hearing you though.
Hear me?
Yeah, sometimes you're kind of muffled.
Really? I wonder.
Is it just me that sounds like she's kind of muffled, or is it just maybe it's just me?
I can hear her all right.
I can too.
Okay, perfect.
But
She
why
can't
can't
see
I-
me. You can't hear her. It's a great time. Thanks for joining us here. It's
We're
gonna be
doing
fun.
good. Oh, that's hilarious. I was just singing happy birthday to Sam. Happy birthday.
We can't sing it.
to
We
you.
can't sing it. It's
Happy
copyright. It's
birthday.
copywritten. I'm gonna have to mute you, sweetie.
Why?
Oh,
Happy
thought that was
birthday is
in the
copywritten,
domain.
believe it or not.
There's like
By
6
who?
million different versions of happy birthday. How's it copywritten?
They paid for the right for it, but if I can't sing it. That's why I have so many versions of Happy Birthday play in the background of my update today. Was because I couldn't sing it. I get in trouble.
Wow.
I
There you
know.
go.
That's very
That's ridiculous.
disappointing. Yeah, I found that out when I was trying to do the very first birthday one. I was like, what?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, I just have it running this song right here. I found it very interesting. The very first opening scene of this thing. Is that her name, Ruby Rose? Is that the actor, right? The actor.
Ruby
who
Rose,
plays
Actress,
that.
yeah.
He's
She
great.
is amazing in this film.
Yes.
I love her.
I adore her so much. I
is-
can't even tell you.
The perfect psychopath in this movie. It's ridiculous how
Oh,
good she
yeah.
is. Truly.
Yeah.
And you
Here
know when
today-
she
just in case anybody's wondering, today we're going to be talking about a movie. It's not an Outlander episode. We are going to be talking about Sam Hewn and probably quite a few other familiar folks, really. SAS used to be Red Notice, had to
Yeah.
be renamed because Netflix already had a show called Red
Red
Notice.
Yeah.
So they renamed it to, I always want to say the Black Swan, but it's not the
Rise of the Black
The
Swan.
Rise of the Black Swan. Thank you
Correct.
very much. Which I thought was an appropriate rename if they were going to rename it something that was appropriate. They didn't just pull something out and go, we'll just call it this instead. Yeah.
Well, they use that word throughout the whole film, so that kind of made sense.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, so you were starting off. We'll talk about psychopaths today. It just sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
highest voted movie, you guys. This is, you did this. So,
Well, this is an amazing. I love this film.
Me
But then again,
too.
I'm an action flick girl, so I love action flicks. And this
okay.
is a
So do
serious action flick all the way around, and it's fabulous. So love it. But they talk about how 1% is, are psychopaths, and I guess this is based on this guy's actual life, too.
Oh,
And he was
really?
actually an SAS agent, so this is kind of wrapped around loosely based on his life.
Yeah,
So
I
I
had
thought
the
that was kinda cool.
information for the writer pulled up earlier, but I can't pull it up now, or it'll take up the screen. But yeah, I believe you're right.
Mhm.
He had inside information, kind of like the James Bond to get her done. So that's pretty cool. Joining us already is Stacy Chadwell. She just says, "How exciting for you, Jackie, with your very cool Sam Hewn autograph."
I know,
That's
it's so
just awesome.
fun. I love it. Thank you, sweetheart.
Cynthia's on a
Love to
roll.
have
She's
her.
already got like four comments. So Cynthia, I'm just gonna say hi and let you say your piece. We'll come back because it's a lot. Again, okay, so we got Sam Hewn. We know we got Ruby Rose. I was really excited to see Ruby Rose. I told you before, but I didn't realize it until I rewatched it today that there's there's a character from Doctor Who on there as well. Mickey, what's his last name? Bissett.
Yeah.
He's the one who, who we lose before the story is over. He plays a companion or wannabe companion to Doctor Who for a short term, and I was like, oh, cool, it's Mickey or Ricky, depending on which dimension you happen to be in.
The old lady that is on the train is
Mhm.
also in one of the Doctor Who's.
Really?
Is
Didn't
she
know
there
that.
too? Okay, all right.
Okay.
I remember her from Last Tango in Halifax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a famous English actress.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, and I remember specifically from that, but she's been in other things too. And Ruby Rose, they panned her. They said when I was reading reviews, they said she was terrible, but I thought she was great.
Oh, she was fantastic.
I think she was fantastic in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Totally. She was amazing.
has she been in anything else? Has she been in other stuff too?
I don't know.
I've
Probably.
seen her in two other things. Well, three other things. She was in Pitch Perfect movie. I think it's the second one. She
Okay.
sings really well. She was in Orange is the New Black, one of the seasons, like 4 or 5. And then she was the original new Batgirl, renamed Batwoman on the CW a couple of years ago.
Really? I did not know
she-
that.
But she had such physical issues. She's been struggling with back issues for more than a decade that I'm aware of. And so she had to drop out before she was supposed to, according to the storyline.
Okay.
But yeah, she's always really good in when I see her. And so for me, I was like, yay, cool, she's in here too. I was happy to see her.
Yeah, she's awesome in the show. And I think it's kind of interesting how the very first scene where the dad and her are kind of talking together, and you can tell that he likes her, doesn't care for the son at all. And he even says it out loud. He's like, I don't like the kid. I mean, I'm like, okay, that's a nice dad, thanks. But then you realize he's the one that's the psychopath, and that's why he likes the daughter, because they're just alike. And that's what he says. You're like me.
Yeah.
We're alike. I'm like, oh, okay, so these two are crazy. Okay, we got that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not crazy. They're psychopathic.
Psychopathic.
It seems really, really bad, especially if you aren't sure how to handle it, or if you're pointed towards, not so good choices.
Yes, not so good choices. Yes.
I think I would call them sociopaths too.
Is it sociopath? I think I wrote psychopath on the fly, but it might be sociopath.
Yeah. When people love to kill people, I think that's what they're called, sociopaths.
Okay. Well, I thought it was that they don't have feelings.
They don't
Like,
have feelings.
Yeah.
They can just do it without even feeling about it. Right.
But
At all.
they're great at observation, so they're like, okay, that's how people should react, so that's how I'll react next time it happens.
So
to
they
me.
copy.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
They copy what they see because they think that's the way it's supposed to be, even though they don't feel it.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder how
Um,
many. They must be fantastic actors.
Actors.
Imagine how many people might be
Say.
actors who are just. I couldn't do anything else and it pays. I can act like I enjoy this.
Absolutely.
And the guy who plays his friend, that tall guy, he's been in a lot of stuff too.
I recognized him from Game of Thrones, but I just recently saw him in something else, and I cannot for the life of me remember
I
what it
watched
was.
a series that came out right around Outlander. It was called Black Sails. It was about
Yes,
pirates.
that's another one. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that show. And it was on for 4 seasons. And a lot of people that were in Outlander are in that show, too.
That's true.
Yeah, and he was Billy Bones in it. And he's been in a lot of stuff, too. And that girl who I think there was no chemistry there, I don't know. Sam doesn't, I don't know if I just think of with Claire, but I just didn't think they were matched. I really
Oh, you mean the girlfriend?
Yeah.
Sophie.
Yeah, see, I didn't mind that, to tell the honest truth. I really didn't mind that.
Yeah.
I think
it speaks more to his little bit of psychopathic nature more than anything else.
Right. I really didn't think that was an issue there. I think they actually did, because he's trying to. I mean, that was the whole point of this whole film, is that he's not really, he doesn't feel it. I mean, he's part of the psychopath part of that. That's the whole thing about this movie.
And they weren't really together much through the movie. Really,
Yeah,
just
they
that
really
end where he shows that he can have a tear, and that's just an amazing moment, and everything.
It's an amazing moment.
At the end, she's telling him to kill everybody.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was. He did a very good job. I mean, a lot of this was such action flick, you know.
But that's
I just found it very interesting.
That's what he does best. He's great. He's great in it.
Good in action flicks.
And I was so happy because when I was seeing him in this, I didn't think of Jamie. I was just thinking of him.
Not at all.
And that's what I want to do. I want to start seeing him in things where, you know, so he's not typecast. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's part of us too. We can see. I have that really bad tunnel vision where I see an actor in something for a long time, and then I see them in something new, and it takes me a little while.
Yeah.
Unless there's only one case, and then I'll shut up. Where I said I'm going to try this show because I really liked this particular actor and the way he played this particular character. And if there's any bit of that personality, I'll go ahead and give this show a try.
Yeah.
That happened to me once. The rest of the time, I'm just like, no, I see the other character. It drives me nuts. I'm done.
Yeah, I think he's done pretty well with picking things where he's out of that whole realm of Jamie. Even though I may not like the show, I don't see that part of it, which is, for me, I think is great, right? I mean, all the other shows that we've watched him in, he's totally the opposite of Jamie, really opposite, which is good. And I think that's why he picks what he picks, because he's trying to get away from that.
Well, and to kind of stretch his acting legs, too, so he's used to playing different things.
Right.
Oh,
because I think in some areas you end up getting bored when you do be on one show for so long, because you just kind of, and he even said that him and Katrina just kind of fall right into it because they've done doing it so long. It doesn't take any effort anymore. They already know the whole thing. So to stretch that, you need to go and do something else that's totally different.
Oh, definitely. And I think I think he's best in action movies.
Oh, totally. I think he should. That's his lane. He should stay in that because I think it's fabulous. He's great in the action flicks. I love him. Love him in action flick. Dude can action.
I really don't care for him in those rom-coms and every, you know, with that Love Again. I just didn't.
He needs to pick a better one. That's all.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Just a better script and pick someone else that he has more chemistry with. Then I think he could be okay because he's actually funny. I mean, he can be.
Oh yeah.
He's got a good.
And I think he needs to just play that once in a while because I think he's never done one. So I think that's one reason why he did that. He's like, I've never been in a rom-com. I want to try it.
Timing and everything, you know, he's got good timing.
Yeah.
But and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but he would make a great James Bond. I don't care what you say.
Oh, we're gonna beat that horse until it comes to life and takes over. Trust me.
I'm sure he's probably tired of hearing that.
My husband was watching part of the movie with me, and it went the first part of the movie where the lady's in the garden and he's talking to her about the pansies and all this stuff, and then he says they're primrose and you can tell the sex at 3 months. And my husband looked at me and said, "That's a very James Bond statement."
Yeah,
I like that. That's pretty good. He kind of walks up and knows all that stuff. You're like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But it looks like I think Henry Cavill is going to get it. It seems like
that's what I heard too.
Yeah, that's what I.
What's that?
Yeah.
Henry Cavill, the old previous.
They haven't made an announcement of that, so how do we know that's even true?
He doesn't look like Bond. Bond is, you know, and I love the old Bonds. Don't get me wrong; they're all very good-looking, attractive guys, but they're all tall and skinny, not tall and
muscular.
you know. He just,
Daniel Craig was very muscular, though.
Yeah, that's true. Remember him coming out of the water? Oh,
Yeah, but you know what?
He's
I didn't
amazing.
care for him at all. I don't think I saw but one of the Daniel Craig Bonds.
I don't think
and
I've seen any of the
every
Daniel
other
Craig
Bond that
ones.
was
I have
ever
never.
made.
I haven't watched one of his James Bond movies.
I love, but he's not that handsome. I mean, you
See, I don't really care for him either. I just don't see it.
You put him next
He
to
didn't look like
Sam
Bond
and
to me.
Bond
I
is
was like, no, Bond is traditionally a dark-haired man. I would love if they pulled James Bond, and if they're gonna do that, don't make him whiter. Go for a darker hue. You know, I mean, if they
Well,
want
they
to play
talked
it
about
up,
putting a black man in there, but I'm like, people would have a
I would
fit.
be all for that. Oh my
People would
gosh,
have
they're
a fit.
They talk about putting a woman in
They'd
it.
have a
I
fit
didn't even
because
watch
it wasn't in the same box as everybody else. They'd have a fit.
No, I'm a girl.
You
I'm
know
a
what?
woman, but I do not.
They're gonna put a blonde in there that
had in mind. You know. Yeah.
Great.
But
turn into the skid or something. I don't know.
Because that's what Sean Connery was Scottish. So why don't we have a Scottish James Bond again?
I am not complaining about it, Diane. I'm not
I
arguing.
wouldn't either. I think
with
he'd be a
that.
great James Bond. Personally, I think Sam would be a great James Bond.
I know.
But we'll see. We'll see how that all works out. I like how what's fun about this show too is how every time he's in a program, he gets on a motorcycle. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It's just me.
I think he has
He
a
likes
he's
motorcycles
actually
so much.
obligated.
Ask the director, can I get on a bike? It doesn't matter what show he's in. He's on a motorcycle.
We're gonna get in trouble because we have yet to actually really talk about this movie. So we've got
So
a
he's
family
riding
of-
on this nice bike, to this huge
Who
mansion.
gets on a bike all the time, Sam?
Yeah.
He's always on a motorcycle in his movies. You ever notice that?
yeah,
Every show he's on a motorcycle.
I'm surprised we don't see him riding through one in Outlander in one episode.
I'm like,
just for
really?
fun.
I know, right?
Well, he loves
If he could, he probably would have. Dude's
And
on a
by the
bike.
way, we're talking about SAS.
He's on a bike going
I
up to a
know.
mansion.
We're doing a terrible job of it today.
Up
So
to
he
a mansion.
drives up to Downton Abbey, which I double
I know,
checked to
right?
make sure
Thing is
it
huge.
is not the same building. But I was
No,
like,
it's not.
that looks like the same room as, but no, not Downton Abbey. But it looks like it. He's a Buckingham the Third. I love
He
that.
is loaded.
And you know what? Talking about that, every time he says Nana,
I think that's so
cringe.
cute.
I don't know
I'm
why.
sorry, but I think that's adorable that he calls his grandma Nana.
I told my grandma, my kids
Nana.
call their great grandparents Nana.
Nana.
Great
That's
grandma's
so
I
Nana.
cute.
just can't. Every time he said it, I would cringe. I don't know. I just didn't like.
I
him
think it's
saying
adorable.
it. Yeah.
A grown
Nanas
man
are
calls his
awesome.
grandma Nana. Why not?
Yep,
And
they
that
are.
ring he had
That's
didn't look
cute.
like such a great ring either. Didn't look like a diamond. I don't know what kind of ring that was. I guess
Oh,
I'm
I
being
don't know.
too
It was
It was
supposed
a
to be some
diamond
kind of ring
set,
she
like-
got from somebody.
Yeah, it was like a chevron thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think it was a diamond.
No.
I mean, I wasn't that impressed, but I'm sure they were really great
I mean, a rich
diamonds.
guy like that, you'd think he could afford a diamond.
But he said it was
Well,
his
it's
grandma's.
a grandmother's ring.
Yeah,
Right.
it's passed
That's
down to
the
the
whole
family.
thing.
That was the
So he
whole
gets
thing. It
off
was his
and then
grandmother's
gets
ring, and
off
it was
easy.
sentimental. That was the whole
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same reason I have this ring. It was my grandma's.
Mhm.
That's what it's about.
And this stone is my grandmother's.
There you
Yeah.
go. Well,
Yeah.
see, just the stone. Yeah, the stone, the
Just
setting.
the stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I have my great aunt's engagement ring she
Yeah.
gave to me.
I
There
just
you
think it's
go.
cute. He
Great
walks
aunt.
in there.
Yeah, I don't have
The
it on,
butler
but
seems
yeah.
to think the girlfriend is awesome. Should we
Yeah.
start making curtains for the baby's room? He's like, you're just as bad as my mother would be. He says, I think that's great. He's like, no, not
It
yet.
is a nice moment, though. Okay, so we
Yes,
see
I haven't
his,
even asked
like,
the chick yet, so wait a
relationships
minute.
and stuff. But
That's cute.
by the time we get around to the doctor, we kind of get a feel for who our bad guy is, who our good guy is,
Hmm.
and our good guy is going to try and do something extra good and take his girlfriend, who seems a little irritated by him, on for a little trip.
On a trip.
And
Well,
Paris.
no. I mean, it's very controlling. He's called her boss and said she needs time off to
Yep.
go on this trip to Paris
Paris.
at this time,
Yep.
and has not said anything to her about
Sure.
it. He's just
Right.
done
nothing.
it.
Yeah.
He just did it all on his own.
I
Yeah.
personally
Like,
don't
he
have a
walks in here after
personality
having
where
seen you for
I
3
would be
weeks.
cool with that, but I know that some people would be. So I ignore that part simply because
Yeah.
just because I'd be annoyed by it doesn't mean other women are.
She was.
She was right. Exactly. She was like, really?
She definitely was.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I just think it's kind of cute. He just walks in and says, "Hey, hon, how you doing? We're going to Paris. Here you go."
I haven't talked to you in 3 weeks, and you're going on a trip with me.
Right, 3 weeks.
Well, if he called me tomorrow and told me I was going with him to a trip to Paris, I would drop everything and go. My poor dog would have to feed himself.
Sam or Tom, because it's two
If he
different.
calls me tomorrow, I'm gone.
So they're off to Paris.
Off to Paris.
But they aren't going to wait for the flight. They're going to take the train.
Yep.
Brilliant plan. I love it. Everything will be great. End of movie. Except.
Well,
here's
he
the problem.
has to go attack that house first.
Yeah, we missed the whole part about the house and how he
This is
shoots the
true.
chick in the
This is true.
face.
Yeah.
And his boss is mad because he did that because they wanted
Yeah.
somebody alive so they could probably question him. But of course, that
They
didn't
wanted
happen.
Grace. They wanted Ruby Rose's character.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
when he goes to the hospital after he's all kind of beat up and talks to the
Right.
to the girlfriend and wants to go, and she goes, "Do you want to talk about it?" He's like, "Talk about what?" He
Yeah.
doesn't even think twice about it. Yeah, I shot her in the face. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, "You see, that's where we're so different." She's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. And then she explains to that old lady, "Yeah, we're quite different. I save lives and he kills them." And I'm like, "Oh, that was cold, really."
But I like that
But
the
it's
lady
true.
just assumes.
True.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm like,
he's in the
"Ooh."
military. Okay.
That's his job.
Yeah.
You shoot
Yeah.
first and think about it later, although he doesn't even think about it. It
Doesn't even think about it. Does it and just shuts off and
I
walks
think
away.
that's
Doesn't
why
think twice.
the girl is upset with him because he just shoots and that's it. That's my job.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have any remorse or anything.
Well,
taking
she
any
wants to be the
remorse.
talker. She wants, let's talk
Yeah,
about our
but-
feelings and let's talk. And she does not want to do that.
Yeah.
No, but also that was a bad person he shot.
Right.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like he shot some woman shopping on the street.
Correct.
He
Yeah,
shot
but
somebody
taking
that
a
killed
life is
people.
taking a life. I mean, I can understand why, since her job is, especially since her job is to save lives,
Yep.
that for her it wouldn't matter good or bad. Taking a life is a
Right.
loss, and
Yeah.
a loss, and taking
Especially
a
as a
life.
doctor, because they're
Yeah.
supposed to be impartial no matter who it is.
It
And
reminds
they
me-
treat people who are murderers and saints. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter
Yeah.
to her
Yeah.
as a doctor. There's no
and it
line there
reminds you of
really as
Claire.
a physician.
All she wanted to do was save people, and
Right.
take
Yeah,
care of
yeah.
people, and that's what this girl wants to do.
Right,
They
right,
can't kind of understand that concept, even though you're killing a good or a bad person.
right.
That you just kill and don't even think about it.
He doesn't think
Yeah.
about it.
And I think that gets to her. It got to Claire too. Claire wasn't happy about it either.
Right.
But that's what they do. And
Right. Well, and
they
that's
must
where
be-
we figure out that he is kind of like Ruby Rose as a psychopath. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He clicks it off and doesn't even think twice about it.
But
You're
as
like-
Melissa said, he's killing the bad guys.
Right.
Because if he doesn't kill them, they're going to kill him.
Right. And that was what
Or
that whole
somebody
situation
else.
was. Right. Or
Yeah.
somebody else. Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then they go back into Ruby Rose. They figured out that someone taped them doing that whole thing to that whole village. I mean, she
Right.
just tore the village apart, burnt it to the ground, not realizing someone had videotaped it.
Exactly.
I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, like this whole political
Mhm.
agenda of
Yeah.
Great Britain or the Prime Minister of
Yeah.
You find
SAS.
the
They
prime-
really lead that into,
Yeah.
all right, we as a nation hired these folks to
Yep,
go
to
clear
do our
out a
dirty work.
village so that this company
Mhm.
could make a
Pipeline.
whole lot of money.
Lot of money.
Yeah, the pipeline, but this
pipeline.
company could make a whole lot of money.
Absolutely.
You know, and
And as the story progresses, you start to realize you don't know who the good guys are or who the bad guys are. Who's
No,
working
no.
in cahoots with each other.
Mhm.
yeah.
You find out the prime minister is in on it.
In on it. Absolutely.
Yes.
And then he, of course, he wants to wipe his hands clean. It's like, well, we didn't hire these people.
Yeah.
We can't tell anyone that we had anything to do with that, even
Yeah.
though we hired these people to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole thing is just a crazy,
Yeah.
crazy mess.
And
And
so they
they're-
did a
they're
red
fake
notice, which I guess
out.
is like, I don't know what exactly a red notice is. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they have such power that they
I don't-
think they can get away with all this.
Yeah.
Whatever they do, they have the power and they think they'll get away with it. It's like that in real life too.
I think it's
I think a
interesting. Her
red notice
character
is
is
simply
very,
a kill
very
order.
smart. Ruby Rose's character. She is
Yeah.
not a stupid woman. She's extremely smart woman. How she plays this whole thing out and gets them to admit they were the ones that actually hired them to do it. I
Mhm.
find it very fascinating how she did that. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
her and her dudes are trip.
And she shifts gears very
Oh,
easily as
totally.
things go a little wrong because all right, so we're going to go back to, and they're on the train. So we find out why Ruby Rose is upset. We get a very clear idea. She's been framed for doing her job and been stiffed for completing it.
Yep.
So underpaid and overworked. We're with you, Ruby.
Plus, they just killed her father.
Which is also upsetting. No one who hires you and doesn't pay you should kill your parents. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melissa, for pointing that out. Yes.
Absolutely.
And the brother is also with her, but I mean, he's mostly ignored. And she doesn't make fun of him like her dad did, but she kind of goes, "That's lovely. You did very good pulling the trigger. Now we're going to go over here."
She's just like her father. She's judging him.
Yeah.
She's always judging him, just like the father did, you know? It's kind of reverse. Usually it's the son who's in favor with the father. I kind of like this change. Now it was the daughter.
Yeah.
And the son is cast aside as not having the guts to do what he's supposed to do, you know?
Well,
he's not a psychopath.
Yeah, it has to do with
No,
the
he's
fact they have in
not.
common.
He's not.
Sons and fathers generally have more in common than sons and daughters, and in this case, that's just not true.
No, because he's not the psychopath. She is.
Yeah.
And that's why. He can
Yeah.
see him in her. That's why he favors her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which they do also make really clear. I mean, there isn't
make it
any
very clear.
guesswork as to why she feels so loyal to the ideals of what her dad taught her.
Right, because she's just like him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, and the father was a great actor, Tom Wilkinson. He was a big famous English actor. He passed away, but he's been in many things too. He's a
This is
great
his
actor.
last appearance in film.
Really?
This is his
was
last
it?
appearance
Oh,
in
okay.
film.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very interesting.
How come is
According
that?
to Wikipedia, this is his last appearance in film.
Oh,
So
I
take it
didn't
with
know
a
that.
grain of salt. But
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
he passed away. He died. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
know that.
he died. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought the last thing he was in was that show in India about that hotel, the great where all the English people come and stay at the hotel in India, the Marigold Hotel.
well, I don't know if Wikipedia was telling us in order of filming or in order of airing. So I don't. It'll probably depend on
Yeah,
which
but
one
you
is
could
which.
be right.
When that
Maybe,
came out.
Yeah, maybe he would. That was his last- I'm
Wikipedia
not
might
sure
be
about
right. It's Wikipedia. I could put in there that I am a 10-foot tall blonde woman, and Wikipedia is so wrong.
He's so So I have a question. Did anyone notice when they zoom in on Sam's face how blue his eyes look in this movie?
Lighting, my
Was it
darling, it's a
pristine?
beautiful thing. I enjoy it.
Did you guys notice that? I'm like,
Yeah.
holy crap.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, Jackie, it's just that I take his eyes for.
They just made
granted.
him very blue
Yeah.
in this movie because they
His
always
eyes
seem
are
the
always
lighting and
blue.
everything just made his eyes
Yeah.
really blue in this movie.
Yeah.
I take it for granted. I really do.
Well,
Wild.
Diane, you know, when you look at someone you love, you always see the most idyllic version of them. So
That's right.
it's just how it is.
How it
That's
is.
why my husband still calls me gorgeous. He don't see all this.
When you love somebody, you see the best in them, right?
That's a wonderful husband, I must
It-
say.
it
A
is.
wonderful
I do- that's-
husband.
That's why I say I got a good one. I got
You
lucky.
got a good one there. Yes, you
I
do.
did.
Yes,
I did.
definitely,
And
definitely.
he's not up for rent, so.
Has anybody
Not
ever
up for
been on the
rent.
channel?
I'm sorry?
Has anybody ever been on the channel on that train?
I have not. No.
No.
Yeah, me either. I would love to do that someday.
Okay, I thought you were gonna be like, well, I was there just last week.
Oh no!
No.
I know
Not
people
been there.
have gone on it, but yeah, I haven't. I would love to do that someday. And it takes you right into Paris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So he's finally on the train with the girl. And now I don't know. It just happens. She just happens to walk by him, and he recognizes that girl, which I think is kind of funny, right?
Jackie, we're gonna have to
Happens to
skip
walk
ahead
by, and she's like,
because
"There she is." I'm like, "Oh,
Jackie, we discovered that watching the movie while talking about it is not a good idea because we have an hour to talk about it, and the movie's 2 hours long, and we have 25 minutes left.
I know, right? It's like, Lord, get going. What are we walking? What are we talking about? I know, right?
So Tom, okay, so they're on the train, and Grace gets in there because she has prosthetics, and that, by the way, that won't work. That she uses for the face scanner. It does not work in real life. Just want to let you know in case you're trying to be sneaky. And But Tom sees her because she does the dumbest thing you do when you get away with a disguise. She ditched it. I
Yeah, she takes it off.
I'm so upset with her. I would like to talk to her character and explain to her why you have to commit to the disguise until you get to your arrival point. But no,
Well, she thought she was safe on the train. She didn't think anybody would recognize her. Of course, her face is on every newspaper in the whole freaking train.
I don't know why she wouldn't think that. I mean, come on. Of course it's on every freaking thing on the train.
If my face were on
everything, down a whole village,
his hair would be gone, shoom, and nobody would see me in purple hair forever. I mean, it would just be how it is.
But then she met all her work, all the people with her. You know, so I guess
that's true.
Guys, she had all these people that are her followers, and she wanted to go into action because she had a plan.
Well, and we see too, because when I first watched this, I was like, oh, emergency vehicles are coming. He's already notified people. Like I missed something. So we see emergency vehicles taking the little roadway between the rails, and lo and behold, it's more swans.
It was them. Yes.
What did they say? They got up to like 24 of the Swan operatives by the time they were finished.
Right.
And they had equipment, they had weapons, they had escape routes that were grant you a really crazy escape route, but an escape route.
Yeah.
I mean, they again, like Jackie says, this woman had forethought and
she was on it.
Everything.
Oh,
it was very well
she was
planned. Yeah, very well
crazy.
planned.
Sorry, I'm actually trying to read my own handwriting, and you know what? I cannot do. It looks like it says bad guys. Two Johns Sayre. Oh. So that cleared it all up. So anyway, Tom does communicate with SAS and let them know this is what's going on.
This is what's going on. Yep.
And he's gonna take, what did he say? CRT or CTR.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Something about gathering information, because she says the same thing later.
Right.
She looks at the phone and says, "Oh, he was doing a
whatever CS, CR, whatever it was." Yeah.
So they got pictures. They know Swan. It's Swan.
She's
they
on there.
see Grace. All right. Confirmation. Stuff's going on.
Yep.
The bad guys are the good guys are the bad guys, except for the bad guy who isn't a bad guy, and the good guy is a bad guy. Oh, and so is the other one. And by the way, the prime minister is not too clean either. It is so flippin' confusing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I keep guessing who the person is that's the
inside
snitch
person.
in the whole thing.
Right.
Or the snipe, I think is what the snipe.
Snide.
Snide.
Yeah,
Who's
Snide.
the snide is.
Correct.
It keeps you guessing.
I
first
don't
you
even
think it's the guy at the office because he says he's texting somebody, and then you think it's him, and you're like, "Ooh, is that the guy that's telling her what's going on?" And then they kind of keep you guessing with that.
Yeah, it was very confusing. I was half waiting for the doctor to turn around and be like, "By the way, I'm a secret operative too."
I know, right?
Well, she did do some pretty good moves that were smart, like hiding her phone in her shoe and picking up somebody else's phone, and having Tom knock her out and that kind of stuff. I mean, that was all. She made some smart moves.
Yes.
Smart moves. I think that was funny when she does the phone, and she hands the phone to the girl, and the girl looks at it and goes, "Are you 12?" There's studs all over it. I just thought that was funny. She goes, "I paid 50 quid for that." She goes, "And I'm the villain." I started laughing. That's funny.
She said, "I'm the criminal." Or something.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, and it amazed me that Sam knew what toilet to go under too.
That's funny. Yeah, it's like really?
that is a funny thing to point out.
I didn't know that.
I was more surprised too that Grace let her take the kid to go get help. She wanted a doctor to help the kid. I thought that was an interesting.
That was interesting because not even 2 seconds before that, she shot the dude, and then she comes up and wants the doctor to help the girl. I'm like, okay, what's that about?
Yeah.
I wonder if it was
really
like a
weird.
kid thing. If
That
it
was
was like
weird.
something cut out of the movie or story about
She had
a
a
kid.
soft spot for children or something.
Yeah,
for
it
younger
was just
kids or something.
Interesting.
But yeah, that killed me too. And that he knew exactly what toilet to go under. I got a big kick out of that.
That is funny.
She asks for the doctor comes, helps the kid. She says, take her to the toilet to go get everything done. She asked for privacy. I'm even more surprised the Swan operative was sure and shut the door.
Shut the door, right.
But Okay.
Like, are you dumb?
Yes. Everybody who would like to look down their toilet and see Sam's face one day, just out of shock, let me know.
Hilarious. And that was an awfully clean toilet, just saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The thing looked brand new. Okay.
And I love how she says shit, and he says, "Please don't."
Please
don't.
don't. Yeah.
Great. Please don't.
Yeah.
So she didn't.
Great.
As an aside, when my mother went on trains when she was a child, when you went to the bathroom, you could see the track underneath because there was nothing there.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
I
just-
was wondering.
Yeah.
And the
Man,
little
I feel
girl
so
fit
guilty.
through it too.
Okay, that's
killed me,
gross.
too.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
gross.
think anybody
That's
could
gross.
fit through a toilet, you know?
Ew.
No. Man, I'd be trying so hard to hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just nasty.
So we get the
Well, that was
SAS
a long
team now.
time ago.
This SAS team now with some information tries to head it and figure out how to get to Grace and her team. And Tom is, I like how she keeps calling him the player.
Player.
Yes. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a player.
So
He's a player.
he's the one lone person against him, and he does some damn good damage. I was very impressed.
I know,
Like
right?
every time you turn around, he's killing somebody else that is in his way. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
well done.
That's his training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like she said, he's trained. Yes, he is.
Yeah. She knew right away who was it, that he knew what he was
Yeah.
doing when she
Mhm.
found out about him.
Well,
But-
and I like that he uses this time too to get the kid out because we got the SAS team trying to come in.
Yep.
We got him trying to get the kid out. A lot happens. Very actiony, thank you, Jackie. For a lot happens, not just action packed, blow him up, shoot him up stuff, but there are a lot of moving parts to keep
Yeah.
track of at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
What is
I like the little
Grace's
conversation he had with the little girl. It was cute.
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
top
that
of
was
the train, she starts asking him questions about the woman, and he actually says, "Yep, I'm going to ask her to marry her," and shows the ring, and I mean, it was just really cute up top there. It was
Yeah.
cute.
It's an
Yeah, and
insightful
he-
kid too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
his
Cute.
French was very good. He was
Yeah.
good because he spoke French and Outlander too. Yeah,
French,
you know?
did French.
Yeah.
At some point, they should have written it in so that he says, "I am ready." But there were a lot of opportunities. I think
Just
they
we
could have done
pray.
it.
Just we pray.
I like why the little girl asked him, "Well, are you in love with her?" And he had to think about that for half a second, and he goes, "Yeah, I think I am." I mean, and then that's when he figured out, "Yeah, I guess I am in love with her," because I don't think
Yeah,
at to that point he really thought about it. It was just
Yeah.
something he thought he should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been
Yeah,
together
and-
for this long. We should be moving forward at least this much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Sam did a lot of skulking in this show too. Skulking all around, underneath the train, on top of the train,
True.
in different compartments.
He did.
Going up where that guy was putting the bomb. I don't know how he found that place
Oh.
too. Wherever that he found that place too. He did a lot of stalking in the show.
Now, I forgot I made a note here. Is it me or did he just get shot in the butt? By
Yep.
the way, yeah.
In the hip,
He got shot or grazed in the butt.
grazed in the hip. Yeah.
I think shot in the butt sounds better, Melissa. So I'm just gonna go with that.
Got shot in the butt.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, he showed a little bit of it.
particular.
There you go, a little bit.
Yeah.
Got a peek.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
when he was
didn't-
laying on top of the train, my first thought was Janice. They showed his butt, and I'm like, oh, Janice would like that.
But he had pants on, so it's not
I
like-
know.
I mean,
But
who doesn't
still.
enjoy a rear view? I'm with you, but
Yeah.
it's not like they were like, and now we're going to clean it, remove your. No. Anyway, shot in the butt. Which I just thought was really fun.
What I thought was crazy was he got phone reception in that fan hole that he was in.
Yeah, how's that possible?
I want to know
How he
who
got
his
full reception
carrier
in most of the
is.
places
I
he
know.
was in. Really? You're down in a
He's
tunnel.
able to
There ain't no way. got some damn good reception up in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it like
really.
a satellite phone or something? Well, you'd still have to be. I don't know.
No,
Wow.
it was
No.
just a plain old iPhone.
I can tell you this much. That is bullshit up. I mean, just terrible because, well, anybody now knows that you need a clear line of sight for a decent transmission of signal.
Exactly.
That is a whole heck of a lot of cement.
Mhm.
Not only
And rock.
not only in the vent, but let's remember
They're in a tunnel.
in a tunnel.
They're in a
They're
tunnel.
under the water.
Under the ground, in a tunnel.
Anybody
Yeah.
with a regular cell phone, they are calling grandma. They are
No.
calling their husband.
Just no. And
Yeah,
they show them he has an iPhone. Like, no.
Yeah,
It ain't
yeah.
gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
No. Ain't gonna happen.
When he's in the bottom of that fan
Vent?
area and
Vent
he's
of
talking
some
with Declan, he
Declan.
realizes that he really is in love with her,
Right.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I thought that was sweet.
That's very, he figures that out in the middle of all of this
Yeah.
crap that he's
Yeah.
actually in love with her.
Yeah.
Sometimes extreme situations help bring out the
Help
truth.
bring out the
So,
feelings,
There you
the
go.
feelers.
It helps your emotions.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Most
And-
of the
and
emotions go on.
I think he would be really darn tired and have a hard time doing anything after he climbed up that hole.
Yeah,
he
it's like,
was
how did he
in.
climb up that thing?
Yeah.
Well,
There was
it's
nothing to hang on
possible.
to. How did he
And
climb up
then-
that thing?
I've
And then
seen
they
Jackie
don't
Chan
know.
do it on a
you've
brick
seen
wall.
people do that. Yeah, it's
yeah.
using
Seriously?
opposing force. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Although
And
every
then
time
Wow.
I've seen it done, it's been a square enclosure.
Yeah.
You know, not a round one, but it's the same principle.
Yeah.
Here's what I put down. I said, Tom takes a beating in this movie. He
He
does.
does.
Yes,
The
he
dude
does.
takes a beating in this movie.
Well, let's go. I mean, his girlfriend gets captured, so at one
Beating.
point he gets blown up trying to save her.
Yep.
That's a problem. And that's after he gets blown out of a window earlier in the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beating.
And then he finds the bomb and he gets tossed down a tunnel and happens to be the one survivor.
Yep.
And he falls through that big hole where the guy he was with died.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I mean. And that fella, he
Through that
dies.
big open hole that he fell through. It was amazing that he survived that because the other guy didn't.
Right.
He finally
Yeah.
goes out to the tunnel when those two go down, I don't know, some gas tunnel. I guess it's a
Yeah,
gas
yeah.
tunnel, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
a gas
point of
line.
escape. Everybody else, like the rest of the Swan team, pretty much dead. He's
Right.
taking them out one at a time, which was great.
Right.
And that's
Right.
their escape route. So they get
Right.
in the tunnel. Grace and Sophie, his girlfriend,
Get out of the
gets in
tunnel. Yep.
And they've got these great mask setups, by the way.
Yep.
They're not just breathing in the.
Yep.
And then
And he
then Tom
follows
kills
them.
her brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Takes the mask off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I think the whole time they're fighting, like, somebody take the mask off. Somebody take the mask off. That's one of the few times I've been pleased in a movie during the fight scene where I'm like, finally, someone listened to me.
Listen. Exactly right.
Because you know, you yell at the screen and they don't listen.
They don't listen. Right.
So
So
we
what's
get
interesting though is that when they're doing that, he gets down the tunnel, comes out, and then she stabs the girl, right? While they're standing
in
there,
the
and
leg,
she
yeah.
says, "Go get her, put her down," or whatever the word is. I can't remember. Put her down, whatever she
Put her
says.
down. Put her down.
And he goes off running after he's been just beat to hell. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, the dude can still run and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
That last sequence fighting I thought was incredible. I love
Oh, yeah.
the last 20 minutes of this movie for me is the best part of the movie.
You mean through the
amazing.
snow?
I tell you what, I was jealous of Sam when he was fighting Ruby because I know she knows what she's doing. I've seen her do it in a lot of different ways, and I'm like, man, it would be so cool to fight opposite her and be like, and just breathe. I mean, obviously, I'd either get knocked out or be like, I can't do that.
Pretty cool. I mean, that
very
move
cool.
that but where'd the snow come from? Before, when they were at the other end, there was no snow. And then when they got to this end, it was all snow. Did you guys notice that, or did it just
Europe
me?
is a very large continent, and maybe
Yeah.
I have no idea. Lack
Well-
of continuity. I don't
I'm
know.
like,
Well,
they didn't go that
I
far.
live 30 minutes away from my mother, and so she gets snow, and I don't.
Okay, it just was kind of
Well-
weird. That's all. That
Well,
was
when
kind of weird.
When they all came out of the tunnel, where were they? They weren't
France.
in England.
They were in France.
Yeah,
They're
they
in
were in
France.
France
So
because
it
they
was
went
a
through the
different
tunnel to go to
country.
France. Yeah,
Yeah, they had made it across.
Across
the
to
tunnel
France,
into
correct.
France. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. So I guess
Yeah.
it snowed. There
but
was
that
snow
whole
in France.
sequence when he pulls her up and puts her through through the window was awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Love that
Fantastic.
part. Was my best part of the whole movie. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. That was just a really good fight scene. Really
And
good.
after
Great
what he
fight
went
scene.
through on the train, and he still had energy to do what he did, going through the snow and everything.
It's called
That was
motivation.
I call
Yeah.
that poetic
Adrenaline.
license. That's what
Yeah.
that was. You know, when
Serious
they say you
adrenaline.
can do whatever
Yeah.
you want, you know, and
Yeah.
that's what they did, because he went through quite a bit. And it amazed me that she never, well, of course, if she killed his fiance, that would have been the end, you know? But
Yeah.
she just
Right.
dragged her along with her everywhere she went. She
Yeah.
wouldn't kill her or anything, you know?
The
So,
whole conversation in the car was incredible. I loved it.
Yeah.
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 They had a
That was
great
good.
conversation. He proposes too, by the way. Grace does not survive. Sophie and Tom do. And he proposes. And they have a little chat where she's like gonna turn him down.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
But then
That was
he has
back in
that
England.
well-known tear of love.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna get married. Yay!
Yay.
And I like the following sequence where we get kind of a lot of updates about what's been going on. The government, of course, denies anything.
Denies everything, right?
The business denies that they paid anything.
Yep.
And they're after the one person who's really to blame.
Yeah.
The Patsy,
Jacqueline.
who
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
you know, he was
Exactly.
bad, yeah.
Right.
I mean, he caused trouble. Don't get me wrong,
But he was
not
not
the one
nowhere
person
near
to
the,
blame.
the, the
Well, he was
person
the
who put all this
proverbial
together.
low,
Yeah.
he was low man on the totem pole, and
Right.
he was a fall guy, and they looked for a
Yes.
fall guy, but we
Only
never
the fall
see
guy.
him again.
No.
They, right? We never.
This is what I'm going to lead into. Obviously, they get married, and then he gets a call.
Yep.
They found it, and the money. He's sitting on it. I think they set this up really well for a part two.
They did, but this has been so long ago.
A series.
Mhm.
Well,
That's too
think
bad
about
that
it.
it's been so long.
Think about it. It's very Bond-like. You can go a long time between bonds, and it's possible they can still do it.
Yeah.
There's really no reason they couldn't if they felt like it.
Right.
Sam's still in great physical shape. He can pull off this part with no problem.
I would love to see him do another one of these. I think it would be amazing.
Oh, me too.
And it
Oh,
would be him
definitely.
chasing them all over the place.
Yeah,
You know, so
exactly.
time can pass. Yeah.
Yep. I suppose.
Well, when he's
One
talking
of
on
the
the
things
phone,
that
he
I like the
said-
most about it though was when she comes out, the girlfriend comes out of the tunnel, and she finally realizes his perspective on things. I mean,
Yeah.
she's like, you can't hurt anybody, don't hurt anybody. She's like a Quaker almost. You know, don't do any harm, but yeah, sometimes there's times when you need
You
to
have
do
to.
harm.
Well, that's
Right.
when she said, "Go get her."
Yeah,
she
she said
put
drop
it
her.
down.
Go get
Drop her.
And
Well,
she
and
finally
she says the
understood
same
him.
thing. Yeah, she says the same thing about Declan. Put him
At the
down.
wedding.
Yeah.
Drop her.
Yeah.
Drop him.
Drop
Yeah.
him. Drop him.
Yep.
Thank you.
Drop him.
But,
But you know what part I really enjoyed though is when those two were sitting in the car, him and Ruby Rose sitting in the car, and she starts to explain to him that you're just like I am. You're a black
Yeah.
swan. Can I let me help you be who you really want to be, because you know that's who you are. And that
Right.
smile that comes across his face, and he agrees with her. Yeah, I am. And then the next, his face just changed, and he stabs her in the neck. I'm like, whoa! Holy crap. I mean, when I first saw that part, it was incredible. I mean, the whole shift of his face was incredible.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like
wow.
Yeah.
we were saying at the beginning, they have the ability to act. They
Yeah.
can choose to be
Mhm.
who they want to be in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never
every emotion
doubted
is
that he was
pretend.
going to kill her. I never
Yeah.
doubted.
That was pretty incredible. I have to say he did a really
Yeah.
good job. And that Sam's really good at that whole face shifting thing. And he would just grinned almost like he's agreeing with her. And then the
He
next
can-
thing he just stabs her in the neck.
he can
I'm
do
like,
a
and then
facial
holds her as she dies. I'm like, whoa. That was just
He's
deep.
just great at doing facial
Crazy.
expressions.
It's crazy, crazy
It's
crap.
just amazing. He can change just like that.
Just like
that's,
that.
That's great acting.
Great.
You know.
I hope they
But
do
at the
another one,
end,
because this was
but
really a
he
good
didn't-
movie. I hope they do.
He said he got a call. The call he got was from Clemente or Clement. That was Andy Serkis in the show, and the one who killed her father. And were they all in to get the money? Did he eventually get involved with that?
No,
Did he
because
something
Clemente
about-
was-
Does he have the money or something? He said.
Clemente
wasn't
was
sure about that.
no. Deck was the one who got paid. Clemente was doing
Declan.
what he was told.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Clemente was doing what he was told. The Prime Minister said, let's pay them off and,
Right.
and get them to clear the vet. So he didn't get thrown to the wolves like Declan. He got off scot-free.
Well, who
which
had
is
the
why he
money
still
at
has
the
his
end?
job. Declan.
Declan had the money.
He was the
He
only
ended up with it
survivor.
somehow.
Mm-hmm.
and
How
then
did he
Sam
end up? Didn't they like wire it to somebody to an
Yeah.
account, and that's probably
Grace
how he got it, right?
Grace
Yeah.
had
Mhm.
him have them wire him
Right.
his cut at the very least he got. I
Gotcha.
don't know
Yeah.
where the rest of it went,
Went
but
to
I know
right
that he at the very least got his cut.
cut.
Which,
Correct.
you know,
Yeah.
$500 million. I'm
Right.
sure it's enough to go buy groceries for a few
Yeah.
weeks.
Just
So,
for a couple weeks, yeah.
just barely.
The way the prices are right now, just for a couple weeks, Katie.
he got 2 cartons of eggs. 2, I tell you.
But was Sam gonna go kill Declan?
Yes.
That
Yes.
they like left it hanging?
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yes.
left it hanging
Oh, okay.
for
And
him
get
to
the
go
money?
chase after him.
Did
Yeah.
Sam want the money?
Yes, because he's going to give it to me so I can go shopping. Isn't that nice of him?
You gotta share it, Katie.
No.
You can't keep it all.
I'm very greedy. I never do anything nice for anybody. It's all mine.
Mine.
Dude, we would all be going to LandCon next year.
Yes, I'm loving that idea. Yay. I like you, friend.
Except for Melissa, because she didn't get. No, I'm just kidding.
Great.
Well, I do want to say really quick because we kind of went our own way again. I want to say hi to Cynthia, who has been making comments this whole time. And I'm so sorry. You guys were distracting me. How dare you? Also, Kathy Slavic has been over here chilling out and chatting. Maureen. And I know I saw somebody else earlier. And Stacy Chadwell as well. So thank you, ladies, for keeping each other commenting over here. And I'm sorry I didn't read through them as much. We talked about the movie for almost 20 minutes. So go ahead.
And I have a question too. Did anybody ever see Sam in that movie with Vin Diesel?
Yes,
Yes.
Bloodshot.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was another great action flick.
And he's action in that as
Yeah,
well.
it's an action
right?
flick.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh,
Can
yeah.
you see that? Is that out there that you can watch that? I
Yeah.
just thought about that movie.
Oh,
the
yeah.
other
I
day,
haven't
and
watched
I
it
didn't
lately.
look it up.
Let me find out who has it.
Yeah,
for you,
it's a good
Diane.
one. He plays kind of an
Yeah,
ass in that movie, which is kind of
Yes.
fun to watch.
Yes.
That was one movie
Yeah.
that Katie didn't list. That wasn't listed there.
Did I not list it at all?
No,
I don't-
I don't think you
I
had
don't know,
Bloodshot
did you?
listed.
Are we doing
Oh,
Bloodshot? I
well,
want to be in
then.
Bloodshot. I loved it. It was great.
Did you? Now, did Sam have a big part in that?
Yeah, he does, and he's kind of an ass in that though, which is kind of fun to
Yes.
watch. He's not
Well,
very
that's
nice in
okay.
that movie.
No, he's not a nice person.
He's not a nice guy in that movie, and I think that's fun.
Yeah, definitely.
good. Yeah.
I don't know where you can watch it right now because it's telling me you can watch it on Hulu through a premium subscription, which means you usually have to have a subscription to something else. But it's not telling me to something else.
Sometimes you have to
I
go
can
through
check.
Prime or something. I'll
Bloodshot.
look it up. I'll see if I can get it.
I say maybe I just typed it in the funny way it happens. Fubo TV. Maybe that's the subscription. Fubo TV.
I have that app.
Premium.
I
don't know. I think. Let's see. You can rent it on Prime for $4.
Yeah, I think it's Prime Video is what I think you can only rent that.
That might
Yeah,
be
you might
right.
If
have
I
to go
remember
through
correctly on Prime Video.
Yeah, exactly. You might have to go through Prime.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look it up. That's
Yeah,
one
I
movie
thought it was
didn't
good.
see.
All right. Well, then you know what we'll do? Next Wednesday, because I was like, we've been enjoying this. Occasionally, we actually talk about the movies.
It's fun.
But there are only so many Sam movies, so I'm gonna need people to start coming up with a list of things that they might like to watch, and I'll put those in for votes. And
That's
we'll-
one.
Okay.
I want to see
and we'll
Bloodshot.
do another
A
round.
princess for Christmas.
A princess for
sorry?
Christmas.
A princess for
She wants a
I
I
princess
put
for
that up there. I
Christmas.
didn't
I love
forget.
that.
You didn't vote for it. I didn't do it. I didn't have any choice.
We're gonna do a Hallmark card, really? Are we?
I loved it.
So we can see him dance.
He looks like he's about 10 in that movie.
Sam looks like he's 12 years old.
I know, right? He does.
I
He looks
know
like
it.
He's about 12 in that movie.
But he's like
Goodness.
30-something. It's
Yeah, I think it was 31.
That is hilarious.
My God, he looks like he's 12 years
Yeah.
old in that movie. I don't think he even shaved yet. I swear
Oh,
to God.
my God.
So young in that movie.
Obviously, everybody likes this movie enough that it
Yes.
got voted to be the number one choice, although Bloodshot wasn't on there. So maybe next Wednesday we'll do Bloodshot.
Okay.
So
I'm there.
if stop, you can't be on every single one. I gotta let everybody. I mean, you might be on it. Don't get me
Vin
wrong.
Diesel, come on.
Whoever emails me first, how about
Vin
that?
Diesel. I love me some
Yeah, I
Vin
want to
Diesel.
talk about Vin Diesel.
We'll do
too.
Bloodshot next Wednesday, same time here.
Okay.
And tomorrow I won't be live. I have to do recording because I've got a meeting and a live for my other thing. But I will have. There's content. I haven't checked. There may be something tomorrow, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so we're just about done here. Thank you so much again, ladies. As always, a treat. And for, like I said, like 20 minutes, we actually did talk about the movie. So
We talked about that movie.
Well, it is his birthday, so we could talk about Sam too.
We talked about at least for 25 minutes, Katie. My goodness.
Okay. Well, every day is Sam Day on this channel, it seems.
This is true.
Okay. So I
I got my Sam Day right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so have a happy Sam Day. Happy Sam's birthday. Thanks for celebrating with me. Thanks for chatting with me. We're going to do, I guess, we're
Thanks
going
for
to
a
do
fun
Bloodshot
Monday
next
or
week.
Wednesday,
Bye.
ladies.
Happy
Bye.
Wednesday. Have a happy Wednesday.
Okay.
Love you
Bye,
guys.
everybody. Good seeing you. Bye-bye.
Well, that was Goofy Chat number 575,222. Yes, I do keep count. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks so much for joining us once again for yet another little movie review. This may expand to movies that have absolutely nothing to do with Outlander actors, but for now, I think we are sticking with that. Before I do go again very quickly, thank you, Stacy Chadwell. Jackie, I am jealous. You know what? I don't blame you at all. Cynthia. Bye, Sam. Love it. Stacy again. Thank you, Maureen. And yes, he is gorgeous in every movie. We cannot disagree. And Kathy Slavic, thanks so much. Anybody wants to be part of our Bloodshot chat next Wednesday? Because we're enjoying this. Why not keep it going? I will try to make sure that it isn't exactly the same group from last time. Kind of mix it up a little bit, but it is generally first come, first serve. Although, if you get there, and the only people up there are Diane, Jackie, and Melissa, you will be on the top of the list. I do want to mix it up so it's not everybody the same people. Everybody needs to have a turn. And then next Monday, of course, again, we will be chatting about Outlander. Tomorrow, I will not be live. I may not have a video at all because I haven't checked to see what is out there new and information to be announced. Although I have heard Diana Gabaldon will be announcing the name of her 10th book this week at some point. So have a really great rest of your evening. Have a great Thursday tomorrow. If I don't get to you guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video or dislike it depending on your feelings about it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notifications bell. Also give great thanks to the members of this channel. Thank you so much for your additional support. And if you are not ready for bed yet, and you really want to hear more about Sam, Outlander, things in general about TV and movies, please do check out the playlist down below on this channel. And